because I've got a giant frog in my lobby.
Yeah, Ninja is giant frog.
Yeah. Alright, let me see if I can get my stream running here. Because it's...
If you can't, just...
Because right now what I'm having is I'm somehow having a really poor connection and dropping like 98% of my frames, which is not good. So hopefully soon.
That's not good.
Yeah.
How about we'll ask someone else to lobby? Would that help? I mean, ask someone else to host the lobby. Would that help with your frame rate?
Okay, it's now showing up. Last time it took it like a minute or two before it started like getting good. So now it's showing up. Why is it so poor? It's... Let's see here. I'm going to mess with antenna. Maybe if I mess with antenna a bit. Oh! What do you know? Messing with the antenna a bit is now putting me up into the solid green.
It's just some signal issues, right? Awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yep, so now we've got it good. All right, so, because this is going to go on YouTube later, for all the people on YouTube who are watching this recording, who are expecting an introduction at some point and it's coming 2 minutes in, welcome to the Ruby Cup Round 2. So we're going to continue on. We had an exciting Trat victory. Again, involving a boosted Pleasure Dome to begin with. But it's going to be good, and we're going to go in here. And I do need to put it on Masquerade. I'm not Marathon mode. Why is it not letting me do Masquerade here? There we go. Now it's letting me do Masquerade. Just fix stream issues. All right. All right. May the best paperclip win. 3, 2, 1. Play game. Oh, I remember multiple times when I was launching games, we'd get to like this and I'd be like, it looked like the game crashed, but no, it was not. It was just slowly loading everyone in. And we're starting here now, still with Silver, Trat, Peasant, Hex, That Scar, Cat, Clippy, and Giant Frog / Ninja has gotten his issues fixed, and so his sub Silver is now out, and Ninja / Giant Frog is in. And I'm going to still verify that the stream is going well. So yeah. So if we lost anyone, there we go. Still looking like we're taking a while to load here. But that should be fine. Trying to sync up 8 players and 1 observer. Hopefully I flipped myself to observer. I think I remembered to do that.
Hopefully you did.
If not, this will be a very quick remake, and I will be spared no amount of guff. Because when you do that, you deserve. Get that. This is really taking a while here. Wonder what's
We might have to rehost.
yeah.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah, time for rehost.
okay. Since you're going to call the rehost, join. Oh, yeah. One true group. Number 2. Create lobby. Okay. Why is it still taking me back to this? Okay. For some reason, why does it keep saying password failed? Like,
If I think it's just bugging now.
yeah. This, because we have FFA ranks. Okay. Let me try that. There we go. That was just... game was bugging out. Okay, let me put on Masquerade. Go to Observer mode. Okay. There we go. Yes, chaos. We will... So let's see. To just revert. So what is Kat wanting us to do if we're all on Steam?
Let's see.
Because I think I'm using the standard version. Oh, but we could go back to a previous version that's a little more stable, possibly.
Oh, are we on Steam version?
That's the question. Hex is probably not seeing the chat, so that may be he's not.
Hex is a new player, so there's a
Oh,
chance
now
that
he's saying hi, sorry. So Hex is seeing the chat.
Okay. I think other than Hex, I'm not sure
So-
everyone else should be on Steam because we have all been here for quite long. Maybe Silver?
we can have 2 observers. That's fantastic.
Oh, if we go to an older version.
Uh-huh. Okay. So we're going to all revert. So that means that everyone's going to get a black screen for a while as I change my game version in Steam. So,
Okay.
So everyone who's playing in this tournament is now changing the game version. They made some updates so it could work between Epic and yeah. So which one do we want?
Which one is, what would be the April 24th one, right? 1.2.1.2127686?
Yep. So that's April 24th, last year. And so we're going to play on an older version. And it's great that they built it that it works both on Epic and Steam. But sometimes, we have issues with cross-platform compatibility. And so I am excited that they also keep old versions available for all of us. So if we're all on the same platform, we can just go to that and not have some of the cross-platform compatibility issues.
Yeah. Also, another thing that is important because like if you have older replays, right, you need to go back to that version in order to see those replays.
Yes. So.
Good. So I'll be joining you for the.
Yep, we'll go into a 10-person thing. So sorry for everyone who's still having black screen. On YouTube, I will put timestamps in when each individual match starts so we can have that better there. Okay, come on. Finish updating. You can do it. Okay, there we go. We are ready. Let's get back into Offworld. So we will have lovely pictures for everyone so they're no longer watching a black screen. And you still want me to make the room, right? Because of lag issues.
Yeah, you should make the room because I think we can almost tell that my internet or my computer, I don't know which is which, is not handling.
Well, if you want to know about more fun computer issues, so a little while ago, the fan in my power supply died. And so I opened up the case and I pointed a desk fan in there, and that's how I got things going while I got a new power supply going. So I finally installed the new power supply earlier this week. It knocked out my graphics driver. So suddenly I couldn't see anything. And then I was trying to figure out how to do it, but the graphics card I use that's actually decent doesn't have a VGA on it, and the basic onboard graphics were all VGA based. And so I had to go, and luckily I kept an old graphics card that's not nearly as good, but it has a VGA port on it, and I don't have an onboard port on my motherboard to plug in, so I have to go through the graphics card. So I was finally able to get it up, download the drivers, and when I went to install them, it said, we can't install the drivers for your good graphics card because you don't have the hardware in there. So I'm in this catch-22 of I can't install the drivers without the hardware, but I can't see to install the drivers with the hardware. So I ended up installing the drivers for the bad graphics card, and that's what I'm currently using until I can figure out something to do about this. That's going to have me do more stuff. So what was supposed to be just a, outdo a few screws, change around a few plugs, has turned into a whole complicated mess. And I hope that rant entertained everyone while we're waiting to reform the game. Because that was the whole point of that rant.
There we go.
Yeah.
I'm observer, so are you. Very nice.
I think we're waiting on one last person. Oh, I made it Mars again.
Oh.
It switched back from random. So it remembers... Hold on. It's not letting me do random. I can do Siri. Random is no longer enabled.
Yeah.
So, do you want to do cycle through Mars series IO?
Sure. And then the last one we'll throw dice.
Okay. Since we did Mars last time, we'll go to series this time.
Yep.
And we will say, okay, random is not an option.
Random is not an option. We will play on series, then IO, then I will throw a die.
Yep, random is probably the one new positive of the patch, so there we go. Alright, so we've got Trat. We're one person down. Who are we down?
Siri is the one that is great.
You said great. I thought you said great because I love series.
Series is also great. Not only is great, it's also great.
Because you can love those nuke plants. Yep. Okay, so Scar is back. Do we have... We don't have that Scar in here at the moment. Right? That's who we're missing?
Pardon?
Yes. Yes, we're missing that Scar.
You're missing that Scar? It seems like it.
Yep. So he says in my chat that he's back now.
Discussion, new lobby. Yep. I got a pin, but it's gone, I guess.
Yep. So that Scar in my chat and my stream has said he's back now. So if you're still listening, hop into the game. Oh, and that Scar. If you're having problems, do the could you try kicking me? I'm not joined. I can't kick him. Remember, we all changed versions to the one that Kat put in the Discord.
To the one on April 26th, I think.
Yeah, April 24. So we're of last year. So we're looking for it. Let's see. Okay, is that Scar in yet? No, he's not. Okay, where is that Scar? Because we know he's around.
Not yet in lobby, he said. But he's launching.
Okay, very good. There we go. I was about to type in that Scar is on his way, but here he is. Everyone ready? Yay with being allowed to have 2 observers. Life is good.
Okay, ready up. Very nice.
And then I'm going to do the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now it's looking like more people are getting loaded in. Perfect.
Very nice. I really wish they would release the new patch. Since if the last patch got out of the QA, I think whatever they fix is would be an improvement.
Yeah, I think Blues is because that's Blues now, who is the person in, I think, charge there. But all right, we're on series here with a very interesting set of factions here. We've got Nomad, Scavenger, Scientist, and Robotic. And this is a chems colony.
Yeah, and you also got nukes and core sample with plenty of caves to take advantage of it.
Those nukes push against the Scavenger in the Nomad, but sometimes you got to do what you got to do to survive. And
it's a chem colony, and and electronics started high. Maybe Scavenger would be a good choice.
And that Scar agrees with you. Silver going for the Scientist right there. It's not a terrible start for there.
A Scavenger HQ has been upgraded. A scientific HQ has been founded. A scientific HQ has been founded.
Hex is also doing science right next to Trat, who's doing the Crater Scavenger.
A bit crap, I would say, but it's alright. Cat decided to find right next to a guard tower by going for Scientist instead.
Alright.
So Creepy is also going for Scavenger. Seems like Scavenger is a popular choice.
I do like oh, I thought that was ice there where Cat was. Oh, it is ice. Yeah, she's got iron, steel. Oh, she's got uranium. And she's got caves near that uranium, so she can really make some fun free power.
Is person around?
Scientific HQ has been upgraded. A scientific
I
HQ
don't
has
know.
been
Oh,
founded.
he is. He just didn't know what to
You
do.
do? Okay, so good. Otherwise, we might have to remake. Everyone's here. That's great. Because Peasant found last, he had more cash for it. 1 second.
A scavenger HQ
And other
has been
scientists,
upgraded.
I guess after all the spots are taken, he's in a pretty tough spot. Actually, there's another scientist spot right a bit south of Asimov, Severe, where there's some water, cave, silicon, and iron. With some core sample, you can definitely make that a good place, good scientist spot.
A scavenger HQ has been upgraded.
What might have been kind of interesting, especially in this FFA play, is to take a scientist down near a
scientific HQ
what
has
would
been
really be
upgraded.
like a scavenger
Scientific
spot,
HQ has been upgraded.
and
A scientific
essentially
HQ has
go,
been upgraded.
hey, I'm going to make a bunch of
Scavenger HQ
chems.
has been up-
So Trap is going for a power play. Because of he's a scavenger, he can just mine a lot of carbon and just go for power. While the scientists will have a tough time going to nuclear plants because steel start high.
Yes, they will. So Ninja is trying to do
a scientific
something
HQ
with
has been upgraded.
solar panels. That's really hard to do on series because of the day-night cycle. Without having liquid batteries as the patent. Once you have liquid batteries, solar power on series is perfectly fine.
That guy is also in power. Cat is having a going for crazy steel, and then she is going into some power as well. 28,000. I'll go for a bit more.
Let's see. No one.
No chatting in game. Someone got really lucky with a high uranium and a low silicon.
Yeah.
And a high iron and a low silicon as well.
Where did they core sample that?
That would be a giant frog. We did it.
Hey, you know, sometimes having some alternate tiles is a good thing. Because that uranium could be good. If steel price goes high later, you can throw down a mine and a pair of steel mills and be fine.
Even later on, just because of the background pressure that the game have, iron will just keep on going up because if nobody is mining iron, then you get suddenly a cheap iron. Is there shortage on iron? Oh, that's surplus.
And Trat is continuing his block as he has stolen Giant Frog's water. And and so has Hex, and put down. So Giant Frog's other locations are just. He's gotten one water, and then he core sampled aluminum. He can't get what he's going for originally.
Well, there's another little water, medium water, a bit north of his northern space. So he could just get more water over there.
Well, by the time you're doing that, you might as well just go and get solar panels, or condensers. Yeah, solar condensers, not solar panels, solar condensers. Because water will diminish over time, ground sources, but condensers will never diminish. They just turn on and off with the sun.
I like this game. Everyone is using core sample. That is very rare.
And a lot of people are going for patent labs, and there comes a nice EMP down on those farms, considering the price of food.
I'm happy that someone is slowing down Trap, because Trap has farm, he has power, he's getting away with the game. Someone finally take notice.
Wow, all those things. Cat is going for teleportation. She's close. Slant drilling from Silver, also very strong. I don't know what Clippy is going for in his patent lab. Doesn't look like he's doing anything. But he's the first to HQ 5,
Upgraded.
considering the price of chems.
Maybe Crippy wants a transparent aluminum, given he has like a triple aluminum mine.
Possibly, but he's already fully upgraded. Space elevators, or no, Offworlds are not that good. I mean, there's a 30k or 29k launch on Oxygen, but it's not that solid. You're better off optimizing on Mars. That Scar is going for transparent aluminum.
A nomadic HQ has been upgraded.
That's not a bad choice if he can manage to. I always find transparent aluminum a bit awkward to do. By the time you get transparent aluminum, you have to wait for it to upgrade to take full advantage of it.
You kind of have to think of like it as like almost like an HQ2 scientist move, just to be like, I'm going to quickly throw down this patent lab. I'm going to grab transparent aluminum, which is going to let me upgrade quickly, and keep moving on. Trat has
Silver asked if he can cast with us this game, but we only have 2 observers. How about I'll step out into this game, then many copies can cast with Silver.
Yeah. It's probably best for casting to just bring him into the next game.
Yeah.
So yeah, we can make it with 11 spots. So we can have all 3 casters.
But we only have 10 spots, right?
I'll see if we can make it with more.
That guy's a bit awkward that he got 2 high water instead of getting just close by ice. He got triple ice tile nearby. It's a bit weird that he go for a 2 further high water instead.
Oh, and there comes an underground nuke onto Trat, but Trat is in a very strong position here.
Scientific HQ has been upgraded.
Looks like he's going to get nanotech, which is just always a solid patent. Cat also
especially when prices are high.
Cat also got perpetual motion, but it looks like she's going to lose the nano race fight with Trat.
Oh, they're gonna sting for her.
The black market is open for business.
Yeah, I'm lagging so much.
There's a lot going on. But she is going to win the virtual reality fight with Trat, because they're going for it at the exact same time, and she's a scientist and he's not. Assuming no one else is going for it.
Oh, Pressure Dome is 320.
Well, it's just there's so many people in the game
A scientific HQ has been upgraded.
that they're all going to do it. No one took a robot, so... of the things that were available, the scavengers were the best for pleasure, pressure on pleasure domes, and there's 3 of them followed by scientists, and there are 4 of them, and then nomads, so maybe that's a little bit reversed, but everyone's putting pressure on it. All the prices are through
only Trash, Crippy, and Cat are in chemical right now. And chemical is really high.
And it's a chems colony, so it's gonna... The colony is just gonna be demanding tons of chems. Yeah, the colony is consuming 2.4 chems.
Sold.
And a good amount of fuel as well, and some food and water, so... The life support is a good market. Chems is good. Trat is buying himself up.
Maybe he plans to buy someone else?
Possibly.
I think.
And yeah, he's going against the Nomad. Sees the Nomad either as a weak early pickup that he can get. It's quite possible.
The engineers have advanced.
Debts. Hex has dropped into D. We've got 4 people in C. Or sorry, 5 people in C, including Trat. Although if he picks up a buy, he'll probably be in a lot better.
I think whoever got financial instrument is pretty happy with this outcome. A bunch of C's and D's, a B and an A.
Yeah. Definitely, so Silver is getting that, and since the days come quickly on series, that'll be decent.
Everyone is buying themselves up.
The black market is online.
And it certainly makes sense if you're in a greater amount of debt to buy yourself up. It's when you're the cheapest. So, and Clippy just shift-click bought Peasant. Said,
I think that's a good choice.
I'm slightly disagreeing with that, and this simply because Peasant is on HQ3. That means his sub, when it finally gets working again, as soon as it gets money, it's going to upgrade and upgrade, and then keep needing to build things. So the sub is not going to be paying out super well to begin with.
True, and then it also gives you a sub. It's still a sub. A sub is a sub.
Sub is a sub.
I don't know if you have noticed, but the last financial instrument gave Sephir. I still don't know how to say his name. 15k, almost 15k, 15 to 18k, just from interest.
That is not bad. So let's see. Kat right now is kind of in a fight, but she's at 0 debt, which is nice compared to Hex, who's in D. Trat is now in D+1. Oh, and how much was that debt tick?
That gave him like 1,000, 9,000.
So.
Oh, that went for an off-world, interesting enough.
Off-worlds are not worth doing. You want to optimize on series. Series is about on-world prices, so if I go into charts and graphs here, it's quickly switching away from the action, so let me know if I need to come back, and I come down to optimizations. We can kind of see who's optimized what. So we have, Trat here optimizing chems. Cat, as you can see, chems, a little bit of life support and power. So you really want to optimize on series. It's strong just because on-world prices tend to stay really high.
Especially in this game, a lot of people are shipping a ton of stuff. So, and since this is also a chem colony, you want to upgrade some fuel so that you can, produce chem at a reasonable cost, and fuel is just a good market because of all the shipping.
Yeah. And looking at the patents, that Scar got Energy Vault, Nuclear Engine, Transparent Aluminum, and Thinking Machines. Silver got Financial Instruments and Slant Drilling. Cat got Perpetual Motion, Liquid Batteries, and Teleportation, which is a great lineup. Trat just got Nanotech. Everyone actually didn't get Virtual Reality. They all decided against it.
Yeah.
There's only 2 Pleasure Domes.
300 and 200. Oh, I think someone just got Virtual Reality. That's got off Virtual Reality. So his Pleasure Dome is 300 something.
Well, yeah, if you're already in it, you might as well do it. Cold Fusion is not that interesting of a patent right now, but sometimes it can be fun to have. Because you never know when the markets are just going to switch. And water is suddenly going to become a...
Crimpy is very happy that, aluminum prices are really high. He's going back to his triple aluminum mine.
Cat can buy someone out. And she bought out the person who had all the stock on her, which makes sense. Clippy looks on the next Oh, and Clippy already bought Peasant, but Clippy is starting to look to go for another buy.
HQ has been upgraded.
But where Crippy will buy out who though? Maybe Trash?
That's the hard question. Is do you? It looks like he's going after Cat because
Going after Cat is nice because she has a sub already.
Yes, and Trat is just going to get his first sub. She already has a sub. So both were going to have a sub by the time, but Trat's in D debt. Cat's in no debt. So stock price wise,
power money, very nice. And she's also a scientist, right? So all the life support just like come really easy for her.
Mm-hmm. And Trat is a scavenger, which means his what he's mining won't decrease, but scientists don't worry about the value of what they're mining because they just, do that. So scientists in this sense is better, especially with underground nukes flying this, that way, and the other. You're kind of better off with a scientist.
So
Cat is looking to take out Silver before that happens. Now, if I'm Clippy,
The optimization center is online.
I'm almost wondering, I'm not quite sure, do I take out Silver?
I think I will. I mean, I get another 2 more stocks into Cat that way, and I get a sub already, and
my stock price shoots up, and then Cat has to start targeting me, and then I can sell the stock. I think it's what the move is. You possibly buy out Silver, then you sell your stock that just got boosted by your buying out to finish buying out Cat. Because you're going to get, I think you'd only get one more stock pip. Cat will probably get one back, and the last one will be dropped. Yeah, because now Cat's targeting him. Trat.
So, but I think.
Yeah.
What's Crippy plan is stay on to Cat and just buy out Cat that way.
I almost would sell my extra pips out. But he's got such a financial lead, there's no point at this point. Because I think he gets the buy on Cat.
So Crippy is selling out his stock so that he can use up those money, so that Cat cannot eat up his money. It's okay, but I think if he's gonna sell out, he should sell out all of them instead of just waiting.
Well, there is a delay.
There is a delay, yeah.
So now
I think Crippy will just buy out Cat at this point. Yeah.
And Cat is going to be a very juicy sub with the patents she has and the optimizations. You're coming in with a bunch of stock. You're going to get your stock back. So there we go. We got that buy. So Trat is about to kill that Scar and wants to finish that because there's an Offworld there, so you might as well grab it. Because if you didn't pay...
How much Offworld earning? Offworld is only 31k. Respectable, but
it's not bad, but just look at these Offworld prices. I mean, there's just too much cash Offworld to have made that Offworld ever worth it. But if you get it for free by buying out the sub, then that is worth it.
Your stock is being sold.
Look, there's a high water earning 1200 a second right now. It was more than the Offworld.
Yeah, because that's what you just need to understand about this game is on series that the prices go out of control. There we go. Trat is now back in.
The black market is open.
So now we're in a very interesting situation where Clippy almost rather kill Silver to just unite his whole holdings. Because he's got a 90% sub and two 70% subs. And Trat has two wholly owned subs. Looks like he's just going to try to finish out. It looks like Silver is doing the panic buying into Clippy.
If Trap wants to win, he might want to buy Clippy now, so and let the field finish off the buy on Clippy.
Yeah, it's probably the right move there, because as soon as Clippy buys out Silver, it's his stock price is going to jump. So not only do you have a stock price disadvantage, you also, I think, have a sub disadvantage. Yeah, you're going to definitely have a sub disadvantage at that point.
Interesting that Trap is doing 2 optimization center at this point.
Well, you got to try something at this point. And I guess he's hoping that, quality over quantity at this point. But
but now it's too late. I think it's just time to get as much production as you can.
Mm-hmm. The real difference is that there's a 50% stock price difference. That is what is probably going to determine this game. Just the subs are making how much the subs are making.
Cat is making 4,000 a second.
Optimization center is ready.
Yeah.
That's insane.
I mean, she had liquid batteries, teleportation, and she's also got perpetual motion, which means she's consuming half power, which means that she's just cranking out tons of money. And I assume she also, if I'm going to go back into optimizations here, she had 5 decent optimizations. And then Clippy is decently optimized. Trat has perfect chems at this point. Lots of food and water. Chems are finally starting to fall. But everything is just there. And is
successful.
They're finishing playing it out because we're using the FFA ranks mod. But this is a Clippy win. Congratulations to Clippy.
Clippy also got second in your last game.
So, indeed, very, very strong. Let's see, where were the FFA ranks? Because they fly by so quickly sometimes.
All the GGs.
It's like, stop moving my thing. I want to see. Okay, so we got Clippy first, Cat second. Because Cat really did build a mighty engine. Followed by Hex. Then Trat.
So Cat is second?
So Cat came in second because she just ended up doing so well. How the FFA ranks values it. So Clippy came in first. Oh god, people are leaving the game. Stop, people! Let me see. Clippy, Cat, Hex, Trat, Silver, Peasant, and then That Scar and Giant Frog were tied in 7th.
Peasant, and then Deska and Ninja 7, right?
Yep.
Okay.
There we go. So if I'm going to come into a quick charts and graphs here, I'm having a little lag here, which I'm not pleased with, but come into charts and graphs, and if we could just look at, I don't know, oh, come on here, there's resource prices, that's what I want to see. So yeah, this is kind of how you'll expect things to look at on series, where things just kind of keep going up. Although there might be some downward spikes at the end, if you're looking at a like a Mars game, you're going to have a spike in the middle, and then it's going to go down, and then maybe there's another peak, but you're going to generally have if you drew like a curve, you're going to have like a bell curve in the middle. where demand was getting high, people were building up, optimizations and patents to deal with it, and they start dropping prices, and Offworlds kind of take over. On Series, you can just see these prices continue to rise. Like electronics, it never fell in price, really. It just kept going up. See a lot of the same for other things here. So, there we go. And I'm going to go ahead and exit game and form the next game on IO, where we flip the life support tree. So let's create a game, put it to IO. I will set it to, I can only do 10 players. 10 players is the max.
Okay. So I'll let AG join you for this one.
Mm-hmm.
Especially I'm lagging quite a bit. I don't think I can very effective as a spectator.
Mm-hmm. Well, you can also stay in the chat and do the chat slightly behind. So,
Sure.
Like I did the first game. So, AG, hop on in our, we need to add AG to our call here.
Yeah. How do I do that?
I come to our call. Let's see. Is this add friends to DM? No, that's just adding a friend. You know what? Let's go into have you found out? Or let's just go into Pleasure Dome in the Offworld.
Yeah, let's just go to President. It's probably
Alright, and there we are. Now in the Pleasure Dome. AG, you're welcome to come down to the Pleasure Dome.
There we go.
I'll watch from chat. I don't mind.
No. I'm lagging like a lot, so I'm not really doing a good job at commentating. So you should
do that great.
join.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I'm just really surprised the FFA ranking was like, hey, have 4th place. I'm like, all right.
Yeah. Go ahead and hop in here. If you need to step away for a moment, just hop into the game so I can at least set you as an observer. And I put this on IO. Yes, I did put this on IO.
I don't see the lobby. I still have them. Oh, yeah, that's right. You version change. That's right.
Yeah.
I need to change versions.
Yeah. And Kat is now saying we might need a sub for severe. So.
God damn it.
Oh,
I don't want to sub.
I can sub if necessary.
Oh, how nice.
So Hexapus will come in as that.
Or AG, do you want to...
well, for the convenience of the... Well, I guess it doesn't really matter at this point because I'm not thermo. But I subbed in for Ninja, but wouldn't it be kind of weird to rank Ninja? I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, how will you keep track of points if one person subs for 2 different people?
I just count your first game as Ninja, and then whoever you're subbing for this game.
Yeah.
Well, how will we decide? Rock, paper, scissors, a 1v1 Offworld game?
Yeah. The choice is yours.
Yes.
How many games are left today?
Just 2 more.
2, yeah.
Well, I think we can switch spots. You can sub this game, because I subbed the first game and I'll cast this one. Unless you don't think that's fair.
Up to you.
I want to.
Do you want to?
I want to watch you play an 8-player.
Or do you want to sub? Up to you.
If one of you can't decide, I'm rolling a die and solving this thing.
I mean, I'll cast.
Okay. So you'll cast. So go ahead and jump in the lobby.
Let me select the version was the one that ended 686, correct?
It's the one that was April 24th, 2019.
Yeah.
All right. Just downloading it. Give me a moment.
Yeah. So there we go.
I think it's kind of cute that I somehow helped an alpaca win the first round.
Oh, yes. The alpaca bond is strong.
Yeah, even when you don't know who you helped. collaboration, maybe.
All right. So now we have both Hex and Hexapus.
Yes.
That won't confuse people at all.
Yeah.
Had to happen.
Alrighty.
Oh wait, I should get out of the chat.
Yes, you should. See you later, Hexapus. Good luck.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. All right. It's pretty fun watching the first two games.
Yeah, it's always good to have some off-world, going.
I think I missed the last part of the last match, but I thought Trav was gonna buy into Clippy because Blue was already 2 stocks into them, but they bought 1 stock in the Blue instead. I'm like, huh?
Sometimes it's always different when you're actually under pressure playing.
That's true. Like how I went into D-Debt buying that 32K option. I mean, claim auction, huh?
I think you were already in D-Debt, and then you just took yourself to a +1 when you got that 32.
Well, no, I did I bought 2 32 auctions. The first one I was in B debt, I believe, and that kind of was where I was going to lose. And the second one, I was like, I was already in D debt. Let's see if I can just jack up the price. But guess what? No one wanted it that badly. So again, I overestimate people wanting to buy a claim. So
right.
I just got very cheap.
So here we are on IO. Why am I seeing everyone as AIs?
I'm not loaded in. I'm still on the loading screen.
Is it showing me as a disconnect? Which would force... Because if I disconnected...
I don't even see your name on the loading screen. I see that Scar, Cat, Hex, Peasant, Trat, Ninja, Clippy, and Hexapus. And myself.
Yeah, that is a failure right there. That somehow I got separated from everyone. So, this is not the actual map. I'll have to recreate it. Alright. There we go. Technical difficulties, trying to get 10 machines to talk to each other. There we go. Sorry about that. Everyone's coming back in.
We're remaking.
We're remaking. Because I got, somehow I lost connection with all of you, I think is what happened, and that would make it so the game became unhosted. Yep. Let me make you an observer.
8-player FFAs are a very tricky and fickle beast.
8-player FFAs are just like, there's so much going on. It's like, there's just too much to pay attention to. 4-player FFAs are already difficult.
Oh, Clippy. Oh, man.
Yes, well, I don't have an unlimited data plan. So, you know. Unfortunately, I wish it was a physical line. Alright, when that scar readies up, we're good to go.
Okay, so IO does not have teleportation. It does not have slant drilling, I believe.
I think there's slant drilling on IO.
And then there's nuclear power plants.
Nuclear power plants. There's no wind.
No water deposits. No wind.
Yeah.
No water deposits.
But that's as the life support tree is inverted. So instead of using water to make food and fuel, food, fuel, and oxygen, you use water and
Fuel
to make
yeah.
to make water and oxygen.
You have to manufacture water instead of gathering it.
Yeah, and you can because the atmosphere is
Hydrogen.
Yeah, you can just
At least
put up some hydrogen collectors and collect fuel right out of the air.
Yeah, I guess fuel is a better term because fuel is more of an encompassing term. Okay, we're getting off track. It is a chem colony.
Mm-hmm.
Chems are normal price though, but I wager chem prices will probably be tempting by HQ 3 or 4, depending on the state of the fuel market. But fuel's starting at 80, so chems might not be. I don't think chems might not even be bothered going into till fuel will probably be HQ2 play, right? Because it's IO. In fact, someone might just go double ion collectors at HQ1.
Now, the interesting part about this map is that pretty much all the ice is in the east. There's no ice in the west. So, founding over there is Clippy has founded a scavenger. So his difficulty is going to be getting ice to him, but he has great carbon. That Scar also going for a scavenger, but he's going closer to some ice. Peasant with an elite, and right near a little basalt area. And lots of elites. Cat's an elite.
No surprise, there's a few good Basalt Lake locations.
Mm-hmm. Trat is the only expansive, and Hex is the only scientist. Who also went for basalt platforms. Okay, Hex, you're a scientist.
Yeah, I don't think they realized that. Okay, so Peasant just got nuked in the carbon, so now his carbon's a low instead of a high. Cubby's already HQ3, by the way. This is getting very scary.
Well,
now Clippy is all in on carbon, which I assume they're stockpiling for ion collectors.
Except that Scar is the first one into fuel. And has already got his going up, so... But yeah, I think he may be trying to stockpile it before he gets nuked, is Clippy's plan. It's like,
That is... Yeah, sorry.
So I was like, if I'm going to get nuked at some point, it takes a while for them to put out all those nukes. Let me just grab up all the carbon.
So Clippy has 2 ion collectors and 300 carbon stockpile with plus 13 carbon.
He should be fine on carbon for a while.
He has 6Ks. And he's already... It's just glass is so cheap, so Clippy is not in a particular bad situation. Glass being cheap, he can just buy with the fuel money he's making. And he's going to upgrade again.
Mm-hmm. So he might want to...
Clippy's a beast.
Yeah, he might want to grab some oxygen, or... Because he has
He went into... Okay, he was saying going to double Alu, and he still is. Mm-hmm. And 2 nuclear plants.
Oh, I'm loving this play from Kat. She bought a hologram and has hologrammed her pleasure dome as an ion collector. So it's sitting as, it looks just like a triangle of ion collectors, but in actuality, it is an elite pleasure dome. Hexapus is also...
That's a cute idea, but I am worried that Kat is in a situation where they're hoping others will go more into power and crash it. But that's not what I'm seeing. Hexapus, no power. That Scar, no power. Ninja, no power. You see the trend here? Many copies?
I see the trend. And Hex, not Hexapus, but Hex is trying to take advantage of that by putting out a geothermal plant. But
that's more to cover their own costs, because he has 3 steel mills, so the geothermal is just going to cover himself, mostly.
Mm-hmm. Trat, meanwhile, has decided to boost his nuclear triangle and is earning 2,000 a second.
Damn.
And Kat has boosted her secret pleasure dome.
Cat should be fine now. I mean, there's still...
She's also running double nukes, so her power's
she's running
up.
double nuclear power plants. She was running at a deficit of 500 dead a second to power until those double nukes came into play.
Yeah, but she's got herself back there. And as an elite, you know, it's okay to start a little bit worse off because you're the really late game player.
A scavenger HQ.
So,
An elite HQ has been upgraded.
off-roads are pretty okay this game, at least for Oxygen. Oxygen started pretty high at the start, and now it's 450 off-worlds, and Oxygen still remained cheap because not many people are making glass.
Well, people are starting to make glass now. Trat got bought out, and so Giant Frog is trying to do an early buy on that scar. I'm not a super fan of this because you're an elite.
It's not just because he's elite, which is a big part of it. The other thing is, do you see his tiles?
HQ has been
It's not a lot of cash tiles. It's a lot of upgrade tiles. It's mostly steel and iron he's in.
Well, steel is at 175, so I'm not...
But you're selling steel, which will slow down your upgrade to ultimately buy someone out,
Yeah.
which I don't approve of generally. Clippy might... The thing, I don't see him doing any electronics, but to be fair, electronics is pretty cheap, but he could go for a fast off-worlds. He was the first to get into HQ5. But I guess he's in a better position to buy someone out.
And that sulfur frost has come down, so if you can't really switch tiles now...
Nope.
The pleasure dome is completed. I wonder what goes on in there.
Okay, no patents have been conducted yet,
Could win a core sample.
which is one of the reasons why chems have not taken off as quickly as I thought they would be.
But they're going for him now. I have a feeling Superconductor is going to be a really sought-after one, possibly.
Sold.
But power is crashing, so maybe we'll see something like synthetic meat come first.
Optimism.
Liquid batteries for the oxygen.
Time to start improving everything.
Now, where's
Cat, I'm gonna see what Cat's gonna research. I'm wagering... This game is having, like, A4FA moves so quick that I can't really think who's gonna do what. I'm just reacting more than predicting.
Yeah, Cat is going for
Okay, that's not
virtual reality.
surprise.
Of course, virtual reality. Hexapus is already going into a space elevator.
Okay, well, her virtual reality got denied for a while, or rather delayed.
Well, it can't be denied because she's elite. She can patent anything. She'll just license it.
That's what I meant. It got delayed though.
Yeah. Did someone?
Okay, Clippy, he's just abusing the black market cooldowns, which is I approve of. This is a pretty good scav game, just because there's mutinies and power and adrenaline power boosts. I mean, the nukes are not great against scavengers, but otherwise, I kind of like this as a scav game.
So that scar has dropped into D debt. It's not making much, and Ninja still got his full investment there. Hexapus is thus consequently targeting Giant Frog, possibly, or slash Ninja to get the shares in that. And that scar's like, I'm not worried about Ninja. I'm just going to go try to take out Peasant.
Huh.
The problem is with taking out an elite early is that all their advantages deal around advanced buildings, and when
Ninjas. Oh, sorry.
and when you buy them out, they lose access to 3 of them.
I suppose first in the off-worlds, Ninja's in a bad spot right now. See debt, and the debt tick is about to happen soon. And he is just not making a lot of money. Like, I'm looking at all his tiles. Steel's cheap right now, and he's mostly in iron and steel. He's only double water. And he has a lot of silicon stockpiled.
Well, Cat is doing extremely well. she's got her stock all bought up, and she's pretty much got the best buy. Peasant is, I think, dead here. That Scar is going to buy him out. Making Giant Frog's investment actually pay off by a weird happenstance. The cat is in D debt. Peasant's in D+1. That Scar in D+2. Hexapus D. Ninja D. I mean, it's Clippy, Hex, and Trat who are still okay with debt.
Well, Hexapus is in debt. They are making about 500 a second off the Offworlds, and they have quite a water stockpile. And they do have I wouldn't say a win condition, but they could try buying Nimj. They're already 2 stocks into them. And buying Nimj can lead into an easier, snowball into that Scar.
And that Scar just bought Peasant. So now it suddenly becomes that's a cascade effect at this point.
Yeah, Ninja just made themselves the biggest target on the map, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I think I won't be surprised if the leaders will buy him out. Ninja's a good buy right now.
Trat's already going for it, or a little bit. Clippy realizes that wherever you end up in the cascade effect. Oh, Trat is trying to get earlier in the snowball by buying up Hexapus first.
Big brain play.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I just want to point out, Ninja is tempting as a buy, not because he would be a great money sub, but because of his stock position, basically, because he has no optimizations. His patents are mostly irrelevant, and I believe he has no carbon, which, at this stage in the game, you need some sorts of carbon. So Ninja would not really I don't see them making a lot of money as a sub. It's just they have stocks in that Scar, so it'd be a great buffer buy. And that Scar themselves, while they're making okay money, but the problem is there's Scav that's behind, which is the biggest problem, and they don't have a follow-up, as in they don't that Scar bought Peasant, but that wasn't a winning move. They needed to make more money to buy someone better, a better sub, or get into an early Offworlds, and they didn't accomplish that. They're trying to go for synthetic meat, though.
And Trat is going for liquid batteries, which, again, just solves your oxygen problems really well.
You said Trat's in liquid batteries? How many seconds does he have?
18, 15.
Okay. Kat is in the race for liquid batteries, but it doesn't matter because she's an elite. She can lose it and still get it. But I was just pointing out because if Trat was behind Kat in liquid batteries, Trat could be denied it.
Kat's got lots of money. She needs to make a move somewhere, and possibly into Trat, because Trat has bought multiple people. Her move at this point may just be like, you know what, I'm going to buy up Trat.
Kat has to act on the market. She has the most money on cash. She has most liquid, but she doesn't have much of a presence on the stock market.
Or maybe she's going to go for a Giant Frog. And maybe try to cascade that way, cascade into Giant Scar, then cascade to Peasant. It's a way to...
Okay. Ninja's doing something I thought they should have done a while ago and sell out of that Scar. They sold one stock. But it's too late. They got bought, and now Blue got 2 free stocks in that Scar.
Yeah, so Kat now has start to working on that Scar, but that Scar has recovered a bit. Cat's in D debt again. Trat is in a commanding lead. He can just go where he wants. I think he wants to take Hexapus first before he takes Hex.
Trat is in double optimization, and he is going to go 3 optimizations in the fuel, which is a good play. Because if you make fuel... look at the launches. Oxygen is actually pretty good off-worlds. It's probably too late, but Trat could just try going to Offworlds, and optimizing fuel will help that. But I guess he's making so much money from. How much money is he making from? His ion collectors are making about almost 500 a second. For comparison, Hexapus's Offworlds is making. Where is his Offworlds?
I don't know. So Cat now I think has a very interesting choice because Clippy's in D+2. She could shift by him. Just shift by. You get a sub that has an Offworld.
Oh, I couldn't see it because his elevator was holograms. So Hexapus's elevator is making 730 right now. Trat's ion collector is making 480 a second, and now 1,000 because of radiation storm. Oh my god!
But that's going to drop quickly because the price is now
correct
falling. But that will be enough to finish the buy on Hexapus.
That's amazing. The strongest tiles on the map is that pair of ion collectors. They're basically making more money than Hexapus's elevator by a long shot.
Yep.
But
now Kat's kind of in a very weird position in that she needs to target Trat, and so does I think that Scar. Although that's
okay. Trat's starting to move optimizing into oxygen, which makes sense because he's actually running at a deficit in oxygen right now because of all the glass he's making. In fact, he went from a triple glass into quadruple glass now.
I don't blame him. He also ended up getting liquid batteries, nanotech, virtual reality, and superconductor.
And he's shorting power. I'm trying to figure out the motive behind this because his competitor Cat is in power, and they're actually making 4 power a second. So I don't know why Trat's shorting power is what I'm saying. And Trat just intercepted Cat's attempt to dynamite him.
Well,
I want to see what Trat's going to do with this dynamite. No, wait, no, I was wrong. Cat intercepted Trat's dynamite. Cat has the dynamite now.
That'll be slightly helpful, but Trat has, I think, an okay target in the Pleasure Dome.
No, I'm saying Cat has the dynamite.
Yeah,
Cat
but I was saying,
Trat.
what do you target with it on Trat? And I was saying, okay, possibly the Pleasure.
Probably the Ion Collector. Oh, not the Ion Collector anymore. That's not his strongest tile. This is triple water processors or quadruple glass. Probably is glass.
But you can only hit one and that can rebuild right away. It's kind of...
my game froze.
Oh, that's not good.
You're going to update me on everything.
Okay. So, let's see here. So that Scar is just hanging on, doing his thing, but he's kind of hit the... He might be able to pull something, but it's really unlikely because he doesn't have that much cash. He's not in there. So Cat has a slight cash lead and a 1 stock pip lead. Okay, there we go. Now the stock pip lead is gone. Now she has about 150k cash lead on Trat, but Trat has a $12 stock lead on her. So it's the question of really who can make that money. Cat is about...
It's probably not that relevant, but how much money is Cat making from her subs? Like Shift 2 to see her perspective?
Yeah. Let's see here.
Just wondering.
Yeah, she is making a good 3,300. Trat...
They're about even in sub income by the looks of it.
A little bit the same. Now, Cat is going into an... Oh, hold on. We lost communication with Trat, so Trat has become an AI.
Oh, no. Oh, no. This is a disaster.
I think the rule. I think we've gotten too late in this. Everyone's HQ5.
Yeah.
Yep, play it through. Hexapus is right. We're past that point. That is really sad. Well, now it's no longer. We're no longer have to figure this out. Cat wins because there's no way that Scar is going to be able to take out Cat. There's just no way. And without her having to fight with Trat, there's no room for that Scar to maneuver.
Well, Clippy's sad.
And yet now she's selling that pip there, so to just complete the buy.
The black market is on the space elevator delivery. So much money.
It's sad, but it is what it is. We were getting really excited here, and then things just went very, very poorly. Okay, let's see who. Oh wow, there are ties all over the place. So, lost. Okay, everyone's going out.
I think this is probably. I haven't been keeping close tabs.
Can you type this into Discord just so Hexapus has it? Because we've got Cat at first, Trat at second, Clippy and that Scar at third, Peasant at 5. And
can you go over again? I was in the Discord window. All right.
Okay. Cat is number 1. Trat number 2. Clippy number 3. That Scar also number 3. Peasant 5. Hexapus and Ninja are all at 6.
Who was Ninja, Hex, and who else was 6?
Hexapus. Both
Hexapus,
Hexes.
Hex, and Ninja. All right.
Yeah, let me go to quick.
Those are just the spots, though. What are the points?
I didn't see the points there, and I've already moved away because I've gone into some charts and graphs.
I think Kat is probably the only one who will know the points because she's the winner, so she has the replay file.
Yeah.
And I don't because my game froze.
I might have the replay file, but we'll see.
Maybe.
But yeah, we've got Trat did a lovely amount of optimizations.
A lot. As pointed out, he had double optimizations for a while.
Yes, but he could also spread them a bit more because Cat was focusing on getting perfects for those extra claims.
I can't say for the entirety of the game, but when he first had double optimization, he did triple optimize fuel, which was the correct play. Because as I pointed out, at one point in the game, he is making anywhere from $1,000 to almost $2,000 a second from those two tiles, which completely obliterated the elevator income of Hexapus by about double. Because when I looked at Hexapus's elevator income, it was like last time I saw it was 730 when Trout was making about $1,000 a second from two tiles. And keep in mind the elevator's money isn't immediate, right? You have to wait for it. So it wasn't just the iron collectors were beating Hexapus's elevator by a significant margin. They were just instant money.
Yeah.
And you don't have to pay what you have to pay. Okay, you have to pay uranium and aluminum per launch. So you also have to pay to even have that income. With the iron collectors, Trout was just having to pay shipping, which the iron collectors were making fuel for anyway.
So, just as a fun little statistic here of where Trat's money came from, he purchased 28k of electricity and sold 422k of electricity. He sold 650-ish k of food and sold a little over 5k of glass. or sorry, 500k of glass. So that was quite a bit there. Off-roll.
Yeah, he did have 4 glass kilns running, which were making about 300 a second towards the end of the game, I believe.
Yeah.
Let's look at the dividend revenues. Yeah, look at Cat. Yeah, you called it as I asked to. Look, their dividend revenues very close.
Yeah, I was about to look at that, but someone can see it on the screen. Okay, so we need to create a lobby, and I need to roll a die. Are you continuing to cast with me, or is Hexapus subbing back in?
I don't know.
All right,
All I have to say is in 1v1 casting, you can you have enough time to predict stuff or speculate.
Mm-hmm.
In 4-player FFA, you still do if you have a dual cast. 8-player FFA, I can't. There's not enough time to speculate or even predict. There's just too much going on.
So I'm going to go ahead and roll the die here for our final location. I have a D10. So 1 through 3 will be Mars. 4 through 6 will be Ceres. 7 through 9 will be Io again. And then on a 10, I will reroll. 2, we're back to Mars.
Is this in the rules? I need to read the rules.
We were supposed to do random, but because we used an older version, random is no longer an option when you create a room. So I'm stuck doing. So Hexapus basically ruled at the second game there when we switched back to there. We started on Mars. We do a series in Io to kind of give a variety, and then he'd roll a die at the end. And I just happened to roll a Mars die. So, So,
looking at the spreadsheet, Clippy is actually in first place for total points. Trat is in second. Cat is in third. That Scar's in fourth. I feel bad. I haven't actually been watching that Scar that much, but apparently total points, they're fourth place. So they haven't been doing too bad.
Well,
Ninja in... No, sorry. Hexapus is in fourth.
Yeah. So this is kind of where we're seeing is it's Trat, Clippy, and Cat here who are kind of in striking range of each other for this fourth round.
Yeah. So that Scar is pretty far away from even reaching that, but he could. The funny thing is,
he could jump up.
He can do it. He could.
The
problem is, even if he wins with 90 points, there's no way he's getting top 3 because the top 3 could earn.
AG, go ahead and join the room. Why is Senzar? Who is Senzar subbing for?
Who is okay? Is Hex? Wait, who's being subbed this time?
So Senzar is the emergency Trat sub. So Trat is being subbed by Senzar. So that will change things.
Wait, was this agreed part that Senzar would sub for him? Otherwise,
Cat was putting it in chat. Cat was putting it in chat. So there we go.
I mean, I guess I could sub if it's really that required.
Nope, Senzar's already in the room. We're already good. Everyone's ready.
I think point-wise, I think it's impossible for that Scar to actually get top 3 because even if Cat, who's in third place, got minimum points of 18, they'd still be ahead of. I think they'd still be ahead of Scar even if they got 90. But I mean, if they win, it's still pretty close.
Yeah.
If any of the top 3 get minimum points this round, but otherwise. Everybody below. Well, to be fair, even that Scar hasn't put that much of a distance between himself and. I don't know how you pronounce that in Hexapus. Funny enough, Hexapus. How do you pronounce whoever Hexapus is subbing? Silver?
I think I did it like Silver. That's what I kept saying. I don't know if I'm right or not, but sometimes the trick is to just say it with confidence and go on.
is that saying much? But Silver has earned in their actual 2 matches 36 points. When Hexapus subbed, he only earned 18, which is amusing. And then for the Ninja Silver, me dynamic, Ninja was 13 and 18, while I earned 45 points. So
All right.
it's not that important.
So here on, let's go ahead and, oh god, everyone disconnected. We got another disconnection game. We got a remake.
I could host the game, but because my internet's pretty good, but I don't know if everyone will.
I don't know why it's disconnecting. I think it may be a slightly different problem because I've never lost like connection with you. Like we're still chatting. I'm not noticing it happening. Like generally, when there's an internet like issue, you'll notice it. So.
I think your ISP is trying to censor you from Offworlds.
Let it try. You can't stop the signal.
Alright. I like how Xbox is like, I don't think I did that well casting or commentating. I'm like, you're trying to commentate an 8-player game. You can't even speculate or even predict things. There's too much going on. All you can do is react.
Yeah, you're trying to do some things. It's only when some people get bought out and you're like, okay, now I can actually focus on stuff.
Yeah.
Who are we waiting for? Okay, we've got the Trat Censor, we've got Hex, Cat, Ninja, Giant Frog, Peasant, Clippy, that Scar. Who's our last person? Hexapus. How could I forget the Hexapus?
He was like the biggest upset this tournament. Like, Trat, Cat, and Clippy are not qualified. They're well-known, established top players. But like, who would be like the big surprise performer?
I'm gonna have
if we can even claim that.
Well, we still have one match to go. If we see someone who basically comes in and like beats Clippy and Cat, and just like trounces them on one round, just because for something that clicked that round, that can radically change their kind of going on.
I didn't, when I signed in as sub and I think I woke up like 5 minutes before the tournament even started, so I didn't even type in sign in. But I didn't need to. I think I only needed to sub second game, I believe. No, I subbed in the first game.
You subbed in the first game.
I just woke up and I haven't played like against human players in months.
Hey, that's how you do it. You phone it in.
I still did okay. I mean, except for the auction buying twice and put myself in D+3 debt, I believe it was, by the end.
Hey, you can always do like a game player thing and realize that debt is just a state of mind. All right.
Exactly. Electronics Colony.
Yep. And so we've got...
Last is 160.
Mm-hmm. And we've got Expansive, Scavenger, Scientists, and Elites. So there's a bit of... There's some things you could do with Elites, because there's some high silicon near some iron.
I like Scavengers a lot, but I don't know if you would... I don't know if you want to play Scavengers this map, because it's a bribe acclaim game.
And underground
I feel
nukes.
Like underground nukes. I think that's like a double. Scavengers can thrive in a private claim environment, but you would have to make a big play by HQ2 or 3, as in make an opportunity for big money, right? Based off starting prices in Colony. But I don't see that.
Here's what it can do, though. If other people don't go for it and you do, or that Scar will just take the Scavenger.
All right.
The other thing is that there are some very nice geotherms right nearby, so you can get a good geothermal. That's a nice large crater to be in. I think there's enough, because it's an 8-player game, there's enough room for at least one Scavenger. Because you get to do...
I think I didn't make myself clear. I just feel like Scav is not a strong faction in this game. I didn't say it wasn't going to be picked. Did I say it wasn't going to be picked? I mean, it wasn't a strong faction. I think I heavily favor the expanses and elites in this game.
Well, it looks like Cat is going to try to buy up some silicon, or gets a lot of silicon right here, and one iron mine. I think she may be going for an early upgrade and a little power play, possibly.
A scientific HQ has been upgraded.
You can keep track of the game. This is a private claim match, so I'm going to have the honor of keeping track of who buys a private claim. Hex has one. Cat bought one. Hex bought one. Ninja has one. Peasant, Clippy, Vascar, and Sensor has not bought a claim yet. Okay, Clippy just bought a claim.
HQ has been upgraded.
Yep, those private claims have already gotten expensive. And that Scar is going in for that double geotherm. So he's going to let...
He is following your plan, though. The thing is, that Scar found it first, so he does have them. He did start with the most debt, which will offset some of that power money.
But they're making a cool 150 a second. I think a lot of other people are starting to go into power too. Senzar is already putting up a pleasure dome. But he's elite, so, you know, more power too.
This is a really, electronics started cheap. Oh, who bought the electronics? I need to see this. Whoever bought electronics, they might go for an early optimization. No, it was Senzar with the Pleasure Dome, wasn't it?
Quite possibly, yeah.
Nope. Cat bought electronics, and I can only assume it's for an Elite Pleasure Dome. Yes, it is.
A scientific HQ.
Either that, or she's
No, it's not.
using it as a parking space. Because remember, if your money sits in your account, you don't earn interest. However, if you buy something that the colony is going to consume, and it's slowly going to raise the price, you're essentially earning interest on your parked money. So she might have used it as parking space.
She did the latter. She parked it. She just parked it. She sold it off she bought it when it was like 120, and she bought like 40 of it, and she sold it when it was like, I think 140, 150. So she just made some small money.
Mm-hmm. And then she's going to go into her pleasure dome.
That's a good play.
Now she's going into her pleasure dome with triple adjacency. Got a nice...
I like that play from Cat. Because the thing is, electronics started at default 100, right? But the colony's already at minus 2.4, so buying into electronics is actually a really good play right now.
This is a very expensive auction for some
Not to
carbon.
mention chems are very cheap, so if you park your money into electronics, you'll make it harder for other people to abuse the fact that chems are so cheap right now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And so, very interestingly, we have things going on. So we've got elites trying to build up that Scar. He's got his power. He's starting to go into life support.
That one reactor is a little awkward.
The thing I think the reason he did it was to connect up that high carbon tile.
Oh, that's true. I didn't think of that. That's fine. Well, that's not fine, but that's all right.
I think he's doing it kind of as a
I know why he separated his farm from his reactors. It's because of the power surge. He's doing it to protect himself.
Yeah, you do want to have separate triangles of things. And more Clippy's now putting up his pleasure dome. Peasant is the first into a patent lab, it looks like. Or no, maybe Cat. Or Cat's following along. Cat's following along. She's just starting to put up a patent lab. I think she's going to go for virtual reality. With so many elites. There's 4 elites and 1 expansive. Yeah, there's a lot of pleasure demand here.
You know what's funny? That Scar... You said power was a good play, right? But I didn't think of it when we were talking about what Scav needed to do to even be good in a private claim game. He could have just went in HQ2 Pro Azure Dome. because HQ2 Pleasure Dome would have been okay play, I think, because electronics are relatively cheap. The biggest obstacle would be obtaining the money to even buy the electronics that early, but it would be possible.
Well,
No, wait. Pleasure Domes are HQ3, aren't they? I guess I'm wrong. HQ3 Pleasure
I think
Domes.
they're HQ3, except for like elites who can. I think maybe elites can get them at HQ2.
Yes, that's correct. Elites can. That's why elites can have 3 off-worlds, because off-worlds unlock at HQ4, and then you get another one at HQ5. But because elites get a reduced one, they can have 3 off-worlds. But
yeah, optimization centers and patent labs unlock at 2.
I'm paying attention to that Scar mainly because he's in 4th place total points wise. He's not a top 3, and he might be this. It's hard to really recognize because when we have the off-world, other off-world tournaments, you can usually have honored, honored mentions, like most improved player and stuff. It's easier to spot those in smaller games, but in player FFA, it's pretty hard to pay attention to that. But I think Oscar might be the surprise performer, I guess. It might not be much of a surprise.
Peasant is doing a unique play here, and he's going for double patent labs.
Oh.
He's got he's a scientist. He's a teleportation. He's now going for carbon scrubbing, which again can make it so he doesn't have to worry about getting carbon, which is good. But he doesn't have another thing queued up.
I will chalk that up to probably not making enough money because chems are 213 right now.
Yeah.
Now, that Scar is, because the power price just skyrocketed, he is making 328, 330 a second off of his 2 geotherms.
Kat is the first into virtual reality, but she's certainly not going to be the only.
I feel like that Scar really needed Pleasure Dome, because if you notice, everyone with the Pleasure Dome just has that much more money compared to anyone else.
Either that or he needed an early sub.
An early Pleasure Dome could help him get an early sub, won't it? HQ3 Pleasure Dome, he could probably be in a position of buying someone out, but he didn't. I mean, I'm not mad or anything. I just...
Yeah.
It's just... If you look at the...
Hold on. Senzar is now fighting for his life because he's in D plus whatever debt, and blood is in the water, so multiple people are going into him. Kat is now moving in on Peasant because she sees a scientist in D debt who's running to... I guess, what would you call that? Patent labs. So if they have a bunch of patents, they're still going to be strong.
Ninja, I think, wasn't he the one last game who had a bunch of steel mills and iron mines? Because he's at it again, and he has financial instruments queued up.
But he's not going to beat Peasant with it.
Peasant's going for it?
Yeah, because remember, Peasant was running 2 patent labs.
Yeah.
Oh no, he destroyed one of his patent labs, so he might win.
Yep. He got geothermal borehole though.
Well, but he's only 9 seconds away from it, so he's still gonna lose it, because remember, scientist advantage.
Oh boy. Yeah. I'm just trying to figure out what the borehole is for.
Well, that Scar is going into his 3rd geotherm.
Yikes. Senzar was bought.
And by Hexapus, which is good, but now Kat is targeting, possibly looking for a majority buy here. So Hexapus may complete his buy and then suddenly be taken out.
Oh no. This is king making, this is prime king making. You know what? You want to know why? Look at Senzar. He's an elite with a Pleasure Dome and 2 optimizations in chems. That's not too shabby for an early sub, is it? Mini copies, 2 optimizations.
And that's an elite. Unfortunately, the elite will no longer get to optimize, so they lose a lot of their advantages there.
That's true, but I mean, keep in mind, this was an early. He was the first one bought out. 2 optimization centers with, an early sub.
He also has virtual reality. Decent. He got virtual reality before he was killed. So his pleasure domes will actually be good. I mean,
he's just going to be a good sub in general, basically. Just lots of money.
Yeah. He's not going to be the best sub because he's not fully developed, but he's going to be decent.
He's not going to scale the best, but he's going to make good money now, which will, snowball Cat into winning possibly. He's not going to, He's not going to scale the best. By the end, he won't be making the most money, but he's going to be enough money for now. Kind of like what I was in. I wasn't the best money by the end of the game, but I was making $800 for a while for Trat in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Like right now, Cat is making about $300 a second.
Now, interesting thing is, that Scar has a bunch of cash on hand. So is he going to finish the buy on Hex? Try to shift buy Peasant? Shift buying Peasant is not a bad idea. I mean, he is a highly...
He has a lot of patents.
He has a lot of patents. He's a scientist. He'll be able to make use of them.
He's a teleport scientist. Teleport scientists can make pretty good subs.
Yeah. But no, Cat will take him. Because the other thing is you deprive Cat of that full sub advantage. Now Cat has subs. Clippy does not have the money to quickly buy out a sub. Because Clippy is in the next best position. That Scar is a...
He didn't do anything on the stock market. He can't wait.
He might get Hex, but that just makes him a target. While Cat and Clippy are building back up money, Clippy's in D debt, Cat's in C. Cat still needs to do an HQ upgrade. But that's fine. She's got subs working for her.
You want to play some trivia? Do you want to guess who has the most private claims purchased? Don't cheat. I know you can cheat.
I know I can cheat. I'm not going to. You know what? Since you want to make it like this is like a trick question, I'm gonna go with like this is a crazy quick question. Go Ninja. And no, I'm totally
wrong. Actually, Hex and Centaur have 2 bought, and everyone else only has bought 1 claim this game.
So, okay. So, but Centaur basically, that translates to mostly Cat, and
actually,
Hex.
That even makes Centaur even better, because earlier you're like, he won't scale that well, because, he wasn't fully developed, and I was like, well, he has 2 optimization centers, which is pretty good, and he'll lead with a pleasure dome. But he's even more tempting now, because he has 2 private claims bought, along with virtual reality pleasure dome. So Centaur should be a very good sub for a while.
Mm-hmm. And that Scar's money is just right now kind of tanked because power has been driven into the ground. So his geotherms, which he's got triples of them, are basically doing nothing for him.
I would have preferred a triple or double wind turbine. I don't hate geotherms. It's just they're very hard. Unless you get I believe geothermal or bullet holes allow you to build over geothermal vents. Correct?
They do, and whenever you build over them and next to them generate power then instead of consuming power.
I'm not saying this is a good play, but I would think if you have this many claims into geothermal vents as a scavenger, we're not even talking expensive or elites who have a lot of claims to throw around. Mm-hmm. Scavenger with 3 geothermal vents, I think you probably want geothermal vents so you can transfer those to do something else.
Quite possibly. Quite possibly, but they're all separated from each other. So
you can turn them into advanced buildings, which will help in scale.
No, you can't. Because advanced buildings need to be placed next to your base or the colony.
Oh, you're correct. Never mind. Then I don't know what you'd build over them. I was trying to be clever.
I think 2 is kind of because 1 generally takes care of your own costs before you start building other advanced buildings. 2 would generally be like if you've got 2 geotherms, you've got 4 power. That's as a scavenger going to cover all your basic costs and a few advanced buildings, and you'd be fine. And you just, if you need any more temporarily, you'll throw up something else as a temporary measure.
While I think last game was pretty damn close, I think this game is just Cat's game, really.
Yeah, because Cat is now moving in on that Scar. And
Peasant, the teleport scientist, is making, well, he was making 600 a second, but now he went down to 400.
because he upgraded.
But yep, that's correct. And then Hexapus is making a whopping 800 a second. Why is that?
And there's no
Sorry.
coming back in Offworlds because the best Offworld launch makes 19K.
And don't forget, look at the electronics price. Yeah, Offworlds are really expensive at 550 electronics.
Even if you were to build them with
dude, look at this carbon price. Jesus.
Because everyone is building electronics and no one is
electronics. Yeah.
Which is why the peasant sub is making even more, because the peasant sub can just
teleport the carbon.
No, it's carbon scrubbed.
Oh.
He teleports the electronics. All the carbon is free.
His electronics factories don't need carbon, and then he's gathering a medium carbon with teleport.
Just to sell that carbon.
So he doesn't even have to... just to sell it. He doesn't have to pay fuel for that, so he's not contributing to the fuel price when he's shipping.
Yeah.
Dude, I don't know. Well, I do know. I know that Cat is in a really good spot.
I mean, Clippy is making the right move to buy as much of Cat as she can before the price goes up.
The other right play, well, I don't know if it's the right play, but Clippy bought him to himself completely as his elite, so I assume he was trying to turtle really hard because he's behind as an elite against another elite, so he just turtle harder.
But at some point, he's got to do that fight, and I think as soon as that Scar is bought, that's when the fight happens. That they just go after each other. I don't know what Cat is waiting for on the buyer. Is Cat just like, you know what? I'll just wait and shift by Clippy.
I mean, Cat's been known to BM once in a while.
Which
I think
you're going to get all your stock back, so I think that is the right play here. Ninja is going for an off-world. That is not a play that'll work here. I realize you're trying something.
I don't think Cat's gonna buy Clippy right now. They're gonna buy that Scar. You know why? Because to buy Clippy, you need about 1.6 million to buy Clippy out completely because he has like 10 stocks of himself.
She's at 90%. She doesn't need that much.
Wait.
She needs about another 100K or less to get.
Wait, did I do my math wrong? I thought you need to buy each pip is 80,000 before the last 5. So 80 times 5 is 400,000.
Remember, Clippy's only $40 a share, as opposed to Cat's $76 a share.
No, I'm just trying to figure this out. 40, 80. Like, you would need... When you need... Like, you have to pay... Clippy is protected, right? Cat would have to pay, like, 800,000 for the first 5 pips alone.
Nope.
Why?
It's going to be a bit more than 800,000 since it originally changed, but if she gets to 900,000, she's just going to have him. And now she's doing that at, I think, one at a time, because now she's pretty much got the whole amount. Now she might just shift by.
Such a wonderful plot of land.
Clippy is auctioning off his elite pleasure dome. So he's just trying to make him not worth buying.
Whatever the Cat wins, though, she just gets it anyway.
Congratulations.
All right.
All right. That's over and done with now. Of Clippy's doing weird, fun stuff. But
New land is available for auction.
Yeah, I thought the price escalated very quickly. At least everyone bought one, but
So,
Senzar and Hex still were the only ones who bought the most.
it's
I guess my speculation is mostly in 4-player FFAs.
yeah. I mean, it's because the cooldowns come along, so everyone starts seeing them and going, "I gotta get one."
I think I'm correct. Scavengers don't even get cooldown reduction for the 90 seconds of a private claim, which is why I don't like private claim games for scavengers. I mean, it's not bad. It's just, well, if you're gonna
Yeah, it's just
awkward for scavenger.
yeah. So there we go. Now it's just a slaughter.
Wait,
here.
yo, can we fight Purple versus myself? Is Cat gonna permit this? Oh, she is. We guys got a game.
So Purple and Orange are going to go after each other, and Cat is just going to
let it be,
and then buy that. Okay, this is amusing. All right, let's.
Okay, if that's gonna happen, Cat needs to sell herself. Cat, sell your pip in yellow then. Or.
Yep. All right, so Hexapus, we got a scientist versus an expansive, which is a fairly decent match. The expansive is off-worlding steel for 23k, or no, now going into food.
I don't think Clippy's happy with this.
The optimization center is on.
Dude, I don't know. Cat needs to sell her stock out of orange though, or I'm gonna accuse her of collusion.
Time to start improving everything.
I think she'll live with that accusation.
Let the plan
Let's see.
Actually, I should go in their perspective.
Yeah, I'm gonna switch over to.
So Purple needs 412k. Ninja needs 426. Purple has more cash on hand, but
Offworld shipment. Make room for the profits.
I'm just okay. Let's see. Okay, Ninja's all in. Like he has fully researched electronics production. Hex, while on the other hand, has significantly spread out optimizations and far less of them. Well, not far less, probably I think about 1 or 2 less optimizations.
But actually,
he's not even
spread out is useful because that means you can take advantage of multiple markets.
I mean, or you can just go all in on electronics, which is still insane money.
Mm-hmm. But you also have to remember is that the inputs on them are also like. Carbon is so expensive. So
in fact, Ninja is consuming 2 carbon a second.
Mm-hmm. Whereas, if you're consuming water to produce oxygen, fuel, and food, like water's pretty cheap.
I think this might be a toss-up, though.
Okay, there we go.
I guess Clippy got upset about stalling, so. Alright.
But that...
Okay, who would have won? Purple or orange? I think orange... I think orange might have won.
Yeah. I could definitely see. So Clippy did get second, and since he was bought out by Cat, wouldn't have gotten better.
I mean, I think stalling. Wait, is stalling against the rules usually anyway?
Yeah. Don't tolerate sexism. Oh, did someone make a sexist comment? Because I could totally see Cat being like, nope.
What? What?
I'm
No.
scrolling up in the chat here to see if I see anything. Except people keep leaving the game. Alright, hold on. If there was something there, yeah.
I mean,
Offworld's a game about being
I've
good.
seen.
Just. Yeah, where's bad? That yellow Hex, that yellow guy over there. So Cat was upset at Hex for assuming that she was a guy.
Oh. I exited the game already, so
I went through the chat and tried to find that out.
That's weird.
That was the I think the issue right there. And looking at charts and graphs.
I would have watched that last game though. I think that was like the second game in a row. I caught Ninja with like a bunch of steel mills.
Optimizations, yeah, I'll look at them. Oh, Cat had so much optimized.
Yep.
Then Clippy was the next best. Pat-wise, Cat got...
I mean, Clippy and Cat were obviously the ones the most, like, winnable. Like, but I guess, I mean, that card, I don't know if they could have won, but I just think there's a few things they just didn't do that they could have had a better chance at winning if they...
2.3 million in dividend revenue for Cat.
Yeah, that's just pocket change.
Let's see. Clippy versus Cat on what else they did. Versus sold. Not a lot of power. Cat profited about $500,000 in glass. Chems bought a bunch of chems, so actually ended up at a net loss in chems.
Can you still like a Ninja's base? Wasn't he in an awkward position? Because if he was, that explained why they went so heavily into steel, I would imagine, because there's still other markets that he could abuse that he didn't.
He put so many claims there and he blobbed. Well, he at least took advantage of economies of scale. You can't accuse him of not taking advantage of economies of scale.
He wasn't near any carbon, was he? And he has, it looks like, 1 silicon. And he doesn't have carbon scrubbing because Peasant took that, so... He was kind of... Was he near any carbon? Like, was getting carbon even feasible? Because he was basically blocked from making any late-game resources. Well, I guess you could say glass, but it was going to be...
No, the nearest carbon was on the other side of the map.
Rip.
So,
yeah, that probably explains why they went heavily into steel.
I mean, he doesn't have...
It feels like one of their only options.
Yeah, and the scientist basically did the peasant scientist said, you know what? I'm going to go and rush as many patents as I can. And...
I feel like if Ninja at least got carbon scrubbing or something like that, they could have went, into electronics or chems better, but because they couldn't, they were basically stuck with either massing glass or what they just did, steel and life. I mean, they could have went a lot of life support, which they had. How much water did he have?
You could have gone for a black market, maybe hack down some carbon.
Yeah, he could have hacked down carbon if I don't know. And then that Scar, he I think I just don't like 3 geothermal vents as a scav
Yeah,
at all.
it wasn't great. I mean, it was there. There were he wasn't. It wasn't necessarily a bad call to found there. He just wasn't able to turn it into anything significantly more valuable. Which,
Like, it was probably the best scav found you can get, but I don't think the game was particularly great for scavenger. So he had that against him. But if he was gonna win that game or have a chance, off-road, like the off-road prices were crap, like starting off. So he like rushing off-roads in like retrospect wasn't
what I would have probably done
early buyout
is possibly consider doing an early run into electronics because of the electronics colony, and try to do a lot of selling of early electronics and get money that way. And
electronics wasn't that expensive for a while though. Like when that Scar was HQ3, like when Kat, made her Pleasure Dome when she was HQ3, electronics was only 150.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, I don't remember the prices of the inputs of that, but that's why I wasn't a fan of the Scavenger, because there wasn't a lot of like obvious big money plays by HQ 2 or 3 to get private claims, like 2 or 3 of them maybe, or just black market spam.
Well, what I was thinking of
but
is
he could have Pleasure Dome HQ3, which would have helped him get an early buyout.
What I think his thing is he needed to go get a majority buy with the scav play. He's got to be early. He's got to snowball. He doesn't have to have
win condition.
He doesn't need to have the best corporation. He needs to buy the best, corporations kind of idea. And if by the time the elites are getting up and running, he's got 2 subs underneath him, his stock price has shot up.
That's why I said Pleasure Dome HQ3, because that's probably the best money making tile by HQ3.
Considering the HQs on the board, probably would not have been a bad choice. But that is where we are for this game. So
but even with that Scar did have a lot of cash on hand for a while. They just didn't secure any stock position, which you probably need to do as a scav, because scavs have the worst tiles in the game. The worst. The weakest overall. I mean, I guess you can put an argument for robots, but I think robots still get bonusy for.
Well, they're slightly better than nomads.
How?
And it doesn't take effect on Mars, but their resources on their mines and quarries do not diminish resources on Ceres and Io. So scavs are.
How do you value reclaim claims though? Like, nomads can swap out their claims when they need to, which makes them better claims, which makes their claims stronger than scavs on Mars, though. So scavengers have the worst claims on Mars.
But I think on Ceres and Io that flips a bit. Because they can have, claims that stay good on resources that they don't need to necessarily find, especially on Ceres, that they can use.
Panic pitched in. He said going in power on HQ2 was a mistake, which I think considering it's a geothermal vent, probably. And founding first, yes. Founding first, there is stronger finds, I think. As I pointed out, I don't think that was a particularly scavenger favored map, so I think you could have afforded to found later, but founding first with the most debt when your plan was to go power HQ2.
Yeah, that was.
I don't know. I don't see it.
Okay, so looking at the final scores here, this is a little. It looks like we've got a tie. Where both Clippy and Kat have 265.5 points.
Dang.
The Trat Senzar duo coming in third with 211.5. Then that Scar with 171, Hex with 126, Severe / Hexapus at 121.5, and Ninja and Silver at 108, and then Peasant at 99.
Poor Peasant, he didn't even reach triple digits when everyone else did. 1 point away.
Well, you know, it happens.
There has to be a loser. There has to be a loser, unfortunately.
Well, unless everyone could tie perfectly every time. You know.
That is possible if everyone... I guess if there's like 8 rounds... Well, I haven't done the math, but I guess if there's like 8 rounds, and everyone came in first at least once, and then everyone at least came in last once, it might have worked out that everyone tied.
So, you know, it could have worked. So, but anyway, congratulations to Clippy and Cat. The K's take it.
I guess there isn't going to be a tiebreaker because Hall of Fame was posted.
Yep. But anyway, this has been a very fun Ruby Cup here. And so I am excited, or not excited, or I'm glad for the people who joined us. I'm glad for both Hexapus and AG, who I got to cast with. And the replays will be...
Silver. That is what AG is.
I switch between both on you. You use different names in different places. You get called different things at different times. Let that be a lesson to you. But anyway, I want to say thank you all for joining us for this wonderful Ruby Cup of Offworld tournament. We'll see you again next month with the next gem, and be seeing you.